Welcome to Pricing Your Books, a guideline to selling your books. Becoming a published author is an exciting adventure. You've poured your heart and soul into your characters, shaping your novel into the best story you can make it. Now it's time to sell it to people? Holy crap. Yep, that's what we're going to do, sell it. There are as many pricing strategies as there are, prices, and so we're going to give you the facts as always and some insight to help you figure out how to price your work. And a little reminder, don't forget we are always here for you on the Facebook group. If you're wondering the best strategies to use for pricing or anything else, please ask it in the group and we'll be happy to work it out with you. Ebook pricing. Ebooks are typically priced anywhere from free to $14.99 or even higher. Traditionally published ebooks dominate the $9.99 and up price point, and indie or self-published books hang out in the lower prices. Often, indie authors will price their book for free, either as a short-term promotion or as a permanent strategy to get readers for the rest of their books. So the 99-cent strategy. Here's some reasons to price your book at 99 cents. If it's a short book, novellas or short stories, 99 cents is a good price point because it's not that long of a book and readers don't want to pay too much for something that's really short. Also, if you're running a sale to attract new readers, or you're creating a loss leader on the first book in a series, which I'll get into later on in this lesson. Outside of a novella, short-term sale, or a series starter, we don't recommend pricing full-length novels at 99 cents permanently. You'll simply be undervaluing yourself and your work, because after all, with a 99-cent book, you're really only earning about 35 cents per sale, and your work is worth more than that. Novellas. While 99 cents has been a long-term strategy for shorter works, I really urge you to check out your particular genre online and see what novellas in this genre are selling for. In romance, for example, many novellas are selling quite well at $2.99. So you don't want to price yourself too low and lose out on money. I personally sell a lot of young adult romance novellas, and they're anywhere from 20 to 30,000 words, and I sell them for $2.99 and have absolutely no problem with that price. So you don't have to make your book 99 cents just because it's short. The loss leader strategy. A great method to gain readers is to publish books in a series. This can be a continuing series where each book must be read in order, or it can be a standalone or companion series where each book can be read alone, but they all go together. So think of a series as like one group of friends where each friend gets their own story and the other friends make appearances in each book. This is one of my favorite ways to write series, and most of my series are like this. So selling a full-price novel at just 99 cents results in a royalty of around 30 cents per sale. That's no good, and that's not a sustainable income. However, if only book one of your series is 99 cents, and you write your book to be so entertaining that readers can't help but buy the rest of the books in the series, you'll see profit in the read-through. Alternately, you can also opt to make your first book free for an even bigger reader attraction. One pro of a free book is that it eliminates the barrier to entry. Every single reader can snag a free book on their devices. The con is that free books often attract freebie seekers or readers who only want free books and have no intention of buying books. But that doesn't mean that only freebie seekers will be downloading your books. Another con is that people download free books just because they're free and they say, oh, look, a free book, and they might take months or even years to finally read your book, or they might not read it at all. So this is something to think about when considering a loss leader. If you price your first book at 99 cents, sure, you'll get fewer sales than you might get of free downloads if it were free, but someone who has already paid for your book is way more likely to read it, and therefore they're more likely to buy the next book in a series. What should I price my book? Good question. Ultimately, this is up to you, but pricing should never be chosen randomly. Pricing often varies per genre. For nonfiction, books are priced much higher, around the $9.99 range. For romance, $2.99 to $4.99 is common, and the same goes for thrillers and sci-fi novels. It's best to do your research and check out the top 100 best-selling books in your genre on Amazon. What are they priced at? If they're 99 cents, make sure it's not a short-term sale that a book is having. Because a lot of times if you check the top 100 best-selling books, the first few might be 99 cents, but that's not a permanent price, that's just a short-term sale. So if you see this, look at the author's other books, and are they priced higher? Probably. So get a good feel for what books sell for in your genre, and then price yours accordingly. Pricing is also never set in stone. With shifting trends, market changes, and general inflation are always at play. So the pricing strategy that works now might not work for you in the future. And there was a time when pricing your book at $1.99 was a really good idea, and that was about 5 to 6 years ago. And now authors across the board, including Ellie and me, have agreed that the $1.99 price point is basically dead. Like, there's no quicker way to kill your book sales than to price your book $1.99. I have no idea why, but it's so much harder to sell a book for $1.99 than it is to sell the same book for $2.99. So keep in mind, in the future, the same thing might happen to $2.99 or to 99 cents. I have no idea. So once you set your price, it's really never set. It's never final. You really have to keep track of the trends in the market. So for series, as mentioned earlier, a great strategy is to create a loss leader on the first book in your series and then gradually increase the price on all the following books. So a series might be structured like this. Book 1 could be free or 99 cents. Book 2 is $2.99, a little bit higher but still cheaper. Book 3 is $3.99. I personally prefer to set my main prices at $3.99 and keep every other book in a series the same price. But some people will go $3.99, $4.99, $5.99 for each subsequent book in a series. You can certainly try this out and see if it works for you. I just prefer not to do that. Box sets. A box set is a bundle of several ebooks. And box sets are kind of weirdly named, I know, because there is no box in ebooks. You're just getting a digital file, but that's just the vernacular that a lot of people use. So usually this will be one full series and one ebook, or it could be a bundle of different standalone books. So box sets are priced lower than the combined retail price of all the books, which makes them a great value for the reader. They can be used to revitalize a series after it gets old. So if you have a series of 5 books out and they've been out for a few years and they're not selling well anymore, you can bundle all 5 books into one ebook box set, and suddenly it's a new book on Amazon. So you can kind of revitalize that series. And the box sets can also be put on sale for an even better value. You could have a $10 box set and put it on sale for 99 cents and get a ton of sales because readers are realizing that they're saving so much money by buying your sale. Paperbacks. So when it comes to indie published paperbacks, lower prices are better. And I wrote until you get famous, but honestly, maybe not even then. Consider pricing your books as close to traditional books as possible. On print-on-demand distributors, a minimum required price will be listed to cover the cost of production, and then you are able to select your desired price. Now, a lot of indie authors get too caught up in trying to make a whole bunch of money on their paperbacks, so they'll price them at $14.99 or even higher for a paperback, just so they make $5 profit. And really, they're pricing themselves out of the market because your average paperback, your average traditionally published paperback is about $10. And on Amazon, my traditionally published paperbacks, they've actually discounted them to $8. So a lot of readers are not going to buy an indie published paperback for $14.99 or more when they can get traditionally published or the bestseller, the #1 New York Times seller book for $7, $8, $9 on Amazon. So my rule of thumb is to always price my paperbacks as low as possible. Sometimes I'm only making 50 cents per sale on paperbacks, but I find that I sell a lot more paperbacks that way, and my books are more in tune to the market because the prices are lower, which is what readers want. And readers will come back because my books blend in with the traditional books when it comes to pricing. So that's one thing to consider with paperbacks. So I have a note here for foreign territories. So most retailers will automatically convert your price from the US dollars to the foreign currency for each foreign market. It's important to go through each one individually and change the price to something more appealing. Just as those of us in the US or the UK or anywhere else are used to seeing prices ending in 99 cents, so are readers in other countries. So they're more likely to pick up a book priced at $3.99 than one priced at $4.26, which would be what the converted prices that Amazon automatically made for you. So every time I go to the pricing page on Amazon or any other retailer, I put in my price, and whenever they automatically convert the US dollar price to the foreign price, I will change everyone to end in 99 cents. And I also will round down instead of rounding up. That way they're getting a better deal. So that's it with pricing, and I hope I've cleared up some things for you and given you some good advice. If you have any questions, as always, just check us out on the Facebook group and have some fun pricing your novels.